Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to go back to one of our favorite budget bourbons, Dustin, the Elijah Craig 12-year-old barrel proof. This time is the A121, recommended to us by one of our subscribers, Master Griffin, or Maester Griffin. Not quite sure exactly how you say that. But you mentioned this particular barrel proof, and we're happy to bring this to you because, Dustin, as you know, I'm a huge fan of these Elijah Craig barrel proofs. This is one of my favorite whiskeys in general, under $100, bang for your buck whiskey, if you will.
Yeah.
But as far as a bourbon goes, man, I tell you what, for the price, you can't beat this whiskey.
In America.
In America.
To our poor Canadian friends, I understand it's like $200 to get one of these bottles there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man, we're banging these out for $60, bro.
You know what's crazy is I've had some people tell me that the price they can get their Jack Daniels, the single barrel double, like the barrel proof one.
Cheaper than this?
Cheaper than what we pay for it here in the States in Canada. But then this one comes in 200 something bucks.
We're like 200 miles from the distillery. How is that even possible? Greed, that's how it's possible. Good old-fashioned American greed. And let me tell you where it gets you. Some high-proof whiskey. What's this one coming at, Dustin?
So 61.8 maybe?
Yeah, it's one of the lower ones. We've had ones that were a lot higher. Not the lowest, but this is one of the lower.
I feel like it's kind of in the lower side of the middle.
One of the lower ones.
I don't think it's that low.
All right, beautiful, rich caramel color. Always love to do these fantastic bourbons. Again, this is my favorite bang for your buck bourbon. I see this in the stores, the first thing I go to. I'm passing the Blantons. I'm passing the whatever else is on the shelf.
Everyone here is now wondering where the hell you're shopping. The reality is, Bland's is never, and these aren't easy to get either.
No, none of them are easy to get.
We have to.
It's bourbon.
Yeah, we have to know when they're showing up. We got to know some people, call some people.
Same day.
Strings. There's networking involved in getting these bottles, sadly. Now, I know some of you guys, this is truly a shelfer, and I thank you because I've had 3 bottles of this sent to me from people who get them on the shelf just whenever they want.
Always nice, always worth it. A very inexpensive bottle for something that is well-aged, 12 years, comes in a cask strength, and it's just a bomb.
Yeah, now they're starting to get a little more expensive. I know a lot of people are going to be upset hearing value because I think they're getting close to $80 now.
Whatever.
I think that's a steal.
Yeah, still well worth it.
Yeah, cask strength 12-year-old bourbon today, Mike, is usually $200. Like this, beautiful whiskey.
All right, what are you picking up in the nose?
Getting red fruits.
Yep, red apple.
Dusty, beautiful oak. A little bit of corn.
Definitely corn sweetness.
Yeah.
Corn husk. Silky corn husk.
A little bit of peanuttiness. Like, it's almost like peanut shells. Hints of salt. A little varnish.
Maybe in the sweet, there's a little bit of sweetness here, almost like a brown sugar sweetness.
Yes, definitely that. I mean, obviously, guys, there's caramel and vanilla in every dang bourbon that exists.
Yeah, vanilla and caramel.
And oak is always there, but I'm definitely picking up some of that nice kind of peanutty / brown sugar. Really nice, really balanced. Kind of has all the elements of a good bourbon.
Just amped up the cask strength at a high ABV.
Yeah.
With some char and some burn
I
on
mean,
it.
it's not the most fruity I've had.
No.
Not the sweetest I've had, and the oak is not the cleanest that I've had.
No,
It's
this is scorched earth.
scorched. Yes. This has been this has been heated. Mm-hmm. These barrels definitely took the toll of time. They were not,
They were not treated gently.
No, this probably wasn't the best oak that you could buy, kind of a thing either.
But they put it in a cask for long enough time where, got it just right, Dustin, in my opinion. All right, I'm going in, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely getting that Heaven Hill distillate, that classic Heaven Hill notes. It's all here. This is balanced, and it's really doing it justice. And I think this is a middle of the road, not super dark, not super sweet, ECBP.
Corn on fire.
Okay.
Ton of burnt caramel on this thing. Get some nice wood smoke on it. Sweeter on the palate than I assumed it would be, but there's both corn sweetness and a burnt caramel sweetness, both. A little bit of barrel char you get on this one too. Ash. It's hot, but the hot has flavor to it. Like, so there is an alcohol bite to it to some degree, but that bite does have a good amount of sweetness and bourbon flavors to it. What are you picking up, my friend?
It's almost like heavy cinnamon caramel apple thing going on here.
There is cinnamon on there, you're right.
Cinnamon, and it's not distinct apple, but there's a fruity ester that goes all the way through here. So I'm kind of going with, it's like so much cinnamon you can't taste the apple, but you still get that fruity ester with that caramel.
It's almost like Halloween on fire.
Yeah. And you're right, maybe a little bit burned. Mm-hmm. This is definitely like, some of these Elijah Craig barrel proofs tend to where I'm getting some dark chocolate and I'm getting some of that note.
A little bit.
None of that here.
A little bit of chocolate, I would say. Burnt chocolate again, but yes.
I'm getting some chewiness, like a nougat maybe, but not chocolate. It's definitely not dark chocolate.
I don't know, it's almost like if you left a candy bar in an old radiator, like in an old school or something like that. Like it burns bubbling off.
But again, like the C batches, I get dark chocolate. Distinct, like we're not debating if it's dark
Sure.
chocolate.
Oh, yeah,
we're saying, that's a dark
had,
chocolate bar that they just dipped in that thing.
I've had Elijah Craig barrel proofs that were definitely more chocolate.
Yeah, so what I guess I'm getting at here is this is, again, middle of the road Elijah Craig barrel proof. And what I mean by that is some of them, the proof gets so low and you start getting kind of more of like the artificial sweetness. The barrel is a little light. And you're starting to kind of question what's going on there. And then on the contrary, you get some of those super dark chocolate ones. This is right there in the middle. There's a little bit of chocolate. Mm-hmm. It's just not dark chocolate bar. Mm-hmm. And it's not that faded where like the oak kind of isn't quite what you expected. And it's a little lacking in the oomph. It's just that middle ground, and it's got all the flavors. The one thing I'm kind of coming back to on this one is it's not integrated as well as some of them can do.
Yeah, this is has been my favorite Elijah Craig. I tell you what, this year especially, and I would say in the last year, some of the ones that I've picked up haven't been my favorite. The 19s, most of those are pretty good. The 18s are pretty good. This one, I do feel like it's lacking compared to some of the other ones. The A119 was always my favorite.
The C from last year was exceptional. The C
was good too.
The C from the year before was exceptional.
C's usually good.
Actually, the C118 I think is my favorite to date.
Yeah, but I mean a lot of the same flavors, a lot of the same things that you normally get off of these Elijah Craig's barrel proof, just not done quite as well in this particular one from 21.
Yeah, and then there's nothing off here. It's a great example of Elijah Craig barrel proof. Mm-hmm. But it's not one of the exceptional batches. This is not one that people are going to talk about down the road.
No.
That said, Mike, we're some pretty geeky snobs when it comes to our whiskey. I think the average person's not going to pick up how these subtle nuanced differences as much as we are.
Well, it's high ABV. I mean, this thing's a burner to begin with. So to be able to even pick through some of these different bottlings, you've had to have half a dozen of them at the very least. And
again, we're two guys who have probably 12 bottles of Elijah Craig barrel proof sitting in our shelves right now.
I have quite a few of them. Yeah, this is gonna be the ones I'm like, I need 2 or 3 or 4 of these.
Yeah, I bought 2, and I was quite happy to have one to drink and then one for down the road. Mm-hmm. Very good, well made, well put together. And again, I think if you are new to Elijah Craig barrel proof, this would be a good one to start with because
a little bit lower proof,
and it's got all the different things you're gonna get in Elijah Craig barrel proof. Mm-hmm. Whereas some of the ones I really like are the ones that go to extremes. This one didn't do that.
Agreed. Extreme chocolate, extreme oak. Something along those lines.
Extremely sweet. This one very balanced, and it's got that kind of nuttiness from Heaven Hill that sometimes they don't really give you. This one definitely has it. It's not the showcase. We're not talking Booker's where you're like, oh, it's peanut butter, and it's 6 years old.
No, but again, it's still a solid effort, especially for the money. Where as far as the whiskey score on this one?
I'm going to go with an 87, Mike.
I'm going to go with an 86. I was kind of teetering back for an 85 and 86. I've had some of these that I really like. This one is not one that...
Yeah.
If I got one bottle, I wouldn't even open it. I'd put it away. I'd open some of the other ones just so I had it like in the collection.
I literally had 86 on the tip of my tongue, and I just couldn't go 86. I couldn't say 86 on an Elijah Craig barrel proof.
I know. Usually it's one of the better ones.
Like I was literally gonna go 86, and I just said I couldn't. And the reason partially is because the batch that came out after this is an 85.
Yeah, 84.
And I think people are being overly critical of it. I think it's getting underrated by some people, but it's definitely not their normal standard. But the few people I think a few people have gone too far. Well, maybe we'll get to that at some point.
Are you saying that the newest whiskeys aren't as good as the older whiskeys? Is that where we're at with bourbons again?
Well, I mean, I hate to go there because I think the C that came out before this one, which is we're talking like 3 months before this one, was exceptional. I think the B that came out before that one was also
Was
exceptional.
also very good.
So actually, those are two of the best Elijah Craig barrel proofs in the last 5 years.
I feel like the latest two have been kind of misses.
The last two are misses, but again, they had two hitters last year. The C 118 from 2018 was probably the best since the old stub bottles. So yeah, I mean the stub bottles, some of those were better, but
Sure.
I think they're still putting out incredible product. And every now and then they have a miss. They had the B 119 from 2 years ago. That was way worse than this.
I agree. All right, so those are our opinion on this this A121 Elijah Craig barrel proof. I'd like to know what you guys think. If you had a chance to try this one, Master Griffin, definitely know what you want. Definitely know what I want to hear your thoughts on this particular one. And Dustin, until next time, what do we wish the folks?
Happy drinking.
We'll see you then.